All right, so here we are, ready for the first project. That's going to be the floor. So I've done a lot of research, and it looks like there's three main ways people put floors into vans. There's the glue down, the screw down, and the floating floor. Now, I'm in Southern California. I don't think I'll be in snow too often. I don't think I'll be in extreme heat, so I don't need max insulation. I'm going to opt for something a little bit lighter. What I've noticed with a lot of the glue down floors is people put down some, I think, 1.5-inch bats with some insulation between the floor on top, so they end up losing almost 2 inches of internal clearance. And with my medium height van, I can't really afford to do that. The floating floor, yeah, I've seen floating floors on houses. I just don't know on a van. I know a lot of heavy equipment is supposed to hold it down, but I feel like it's got to be at least partially screwed down. My old Sprinter van, the factory floor had 6 screw down bolts in there that were already there, and that seemed to work just fine. Unfortunately, the Ford Transit does not have that. So I think I'm going to take that same approach as the Sprinter van, find a few anchor points, and then just put in a medium amount of insulation, and then go with that. So I'm going to use for the floor insulation is mini cell foam. I got this stuff at DIY Van. You can, for every van model you have, they have a package that comes. So for my Ford Transit, it was 5 sheets. 2 of them were a little bit thicker than the other 3. And those first 2 sheets are intended to go between the ribs in the van, and then the other 2 on top. So I'm going to go ahead and install all the first set of foam, and then show you guys what that looks like. So here we are. Here is the first layer of the mini cell foam. It's been installed, all of it in between the ribs. I used the thicker 2 pads for that, and I used the 3M90 adhesive to hold it down. It took me just over 2 of these to glue all this in, but as you can see, first layer is now in. So here we are, the second layer of mini cell foam has now been installed. So now we're covering the whole back end. This is the 1/4-inch mini foam, and it's pretty easy to work with. If you rough cut it, then when you get to the little cutouts, you can just kind of shove it in there a little bit, mark it with a pen, slowly cut it back with scissors until it fits. Pretty easy to work with. For my van design, I plan on sleeping side to side. So a queen size mattress is 60 inches wide, and my plan is to underneath that have various cabinets and storage. So I'm going to leave that part of the wood floor as wood, and then on the front section, plan on putting in carpet. For the wood, I'm using 4-foot by 8-foot 1/2-inch Baltic birch. I will cut those down to approximately 6 feet wide, and that means I'm going to need 3 sheets of it total. So for the middle piece of wood, I'm going to cut it down approximately in the middle to line it up with where I want my wood transition and carpet to meet. I'm going to then use biscuits to glue the front 2 pieces and the rear 2 pieces together. I've used biscuit a lot for cabinetry making at home, and I know that will give me plenty of strength. And then I'm going to leave it as 2 separate pieces, and in the middle I'll also use biscuits just to kind of align them and keep them kind of nice and level once installed. I'm going to then find anchor points, 4 in the front, 4 in the rear, and 2 in the side, and install riv nuts and use those to bolt the floor in. I didn't have a template and decided not to create one. Instead, what I did is almost kind of like doing tile work at home. I just basically put in the wood and then slowly started notching pieces out. So yeah, it did require me to take the wood in and out several times, but eventually got the front piece in and then repeated the process on the middle section and the back section. So by the front of the van, right behind the seats, there's already these little slots in here. And when I look down, I notice there's nothing at all below them. Now, I don't know if I can really put a riv nut into this because that slot's much wider. But in fishing around, I could see that right next to it. I could drill some holes and put some riv nuts in. So I think that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drilled 4 holes right there, put a riv nut in. That will definitely hold the front part of the floor down behind these seats. All right, so I had measured out exactly where I wanted the 4 front holes, And so once I got my wood put in place, I drilled through the wood and down into the metal. And as I did each one, I put a small nail or screw in there to hold in place. And I moved from one to the second to the third, all the way over to the fourth. So once I got the pilot holes, pull the wood out, bore out the hole to the right size, and then using these little riv nuts, we're going to put those in so we can fasten the wood to it. And so here we are installing the riv nuts, and once they're done, pull it out, and now I got my 4 riv nuts all in place. Now I'm ready to glue down the remainder of my foam here on the front, and then I can install part of my wood. Here's a bottom view of the riv nuts with the bolts installed. Plenty of space to drill and find a spot to anchor. So here's the finished fabrication. Here's the front piece, the seam where it's glued together. There's the middle piece where it detaches into 2, and there is little biscuits, about 9 of them, just kind of holding everything solid. And then there's the back piece, same thing, 2 pieces glued together, nice and solid. Everything's all bolted in, so the back piece will stay wood with some finish on it. And then on the front, I'm probably going to go with this carpet material, and then everything should look good. This is really solid. It's only 3/4 inch thick, and it has no movement in whatsoever. And then there'll still be a little bit of finishing that has to go up front. I triple layered the wood up front here to kind of cover up the edge, and I'll end up putting some sort of edge trim on there. So that's it for now. I will post more later when I do the final finish of it.